There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino Is the Name, and as you can tell, I am outside on my back porch, and I wanted to just talk to you guys about the dump truck business. A lot of you guys have been asking me how to get started in the dump truck business. Is it hard? How do you find contracts, or how do you get work, basically? Is it easy or is it hard to get work? Because it is definitely different from having a hauling business, like a traditional over-the-road business where you're carrying cargo. This is a different kind of business, but it is actually much easier to find work for a dump truck than it is for a traditional trucking business. So you don't need load boards with the dump truck business. All you have to do is, there are several ways to find loads, but one way would be you can, if you see a dump truck driving down the road that's loaded, and you see that a lot where I live in Atlanta, because there's construction going on probably the next 20, 30 years non-stop in Atlanta. It's serious out here. So if I saw a truck going down the road, it would have a number on the side of the truck, the company phone number or whatever, or it'll just have the company name. Either you look up the company name, or you look up the phone number, or you take down the phone number, then you call that number and you say, hey, I have a dump truck. I'm looking to find out how to get, my truck going. Like, I'm just trying to get my truck with the company and get it going. I have a driver, I have insurance, I have everything. They're going to sign you up. They're going to say, okay, well, bring it on through. And you just talk about what rate you're going to be going for. Right now, I'm hearing quotes about $110 an hour, and usually the driver gets 25%. The lowest that I would go would be $80 an hour for my truck, and that would be for $20 an hour going to the driver, and then of course $60 an hour going towards the owner of the business. You will need $1 million insurance policy. You will also need whoever you're going to drive up under. They're gonna whatever company actually has the contract. So what really happens is, let's say the airport here in Atlanta. The airport here in Atlanta is expanding. They need plenty of dump trucks. So what the people will do who bid on the contract, they'll say maybe they got 17 trucks, but really they only own like 5, and the rest are just people who might be like you, who have a truck, but you didn't bid on the contract, but they need your truck in order to secure that contract so they can get that contract, done. So they're always looking for new trucks. It is not slowing down. It is plenty of opportunity. And all you do is you just got to have a truck. You don't actually have to bid on the contract. You don't have to do any of that. And so what they'll do is they'll bid on the contract, and they may tell the airport, I need $250 an hour, or I need $200 an hour per truck, right? So $200 an hour per truck. And then you'll sign up with them. They'll loan you out, basically to do the work, because they need your truck. And they need your driver, or they need you to drive, or whoever's driving, but they need you to basically do the job because they need the trucks. So maybe they only get $90 an hour. I don't know, but they'll keep whatever the difference is, and you keep whatever the difference is. And so they say you negotiate with them $80 an hour. Maybe they get $130 an hour. So they keep the other part, you keep whatever part that you need. And with dump trucks, you don't have to buy a brand new dump truck, because it's basically a dirty truck. It's not like the lap of luxury or anything like that. The driver doesn't actually get dirty. Like, the driver never gets out the truck. When I first saw some dump truck drivers, they were clean. They had fresh white tee on, fresh white shoes, getting out of a dirty truck, right? And I'm thinking, what are you doing? Like, why did you go to work like that in all white? And he was like, yeah. And then another guy that got out the same way. They were part of the same company. So I said, well, this makes no sense, because you are a dump truck driver. Don't you be in dirt? Naturally you think, Don't you be in dirt. And he was like, yeah, but, you know, I don't get out the truck and I don't load the truck. It is not like having a flatbed or anything. We got to strap something down. They don't actually get out the truck. They don't load the dirt. Of course, that don't make any sense, right? Because it's like mountains of dirt. Nobody is actually shoveling that in there. So they just pull up, get loaded, drive it off, go dump it, pull up, get loaded, drive it off, go dump it, over and over. Also, they're home every night. They're home every night. You know, so there's no over the road. The furthest that most of them gonna go is about 25 miles. That is why I like the dump truck business. It is good for being local. It's good money. Of course, it is not as much as you would make if you were driving a semi-truck over the road, right? Or doing some kind of hot shot where you're going over the road. But let's say it's $80 an hour, right? And you're looking at 5 days a week. So do the numbers. $80 an hour times 8 hours a day is $640, right? And then if you multiply that, let's just say $600. Just keep it round for you. So 600 times 5 days a week. It's 3,000, right? It's nothing crazy. It's not like the craziest numbers, you know? But $3,000 a week. You pay your driver 25%, and you know you got to take care of your truck, you got to pay your insurance and things like that. But it is not over the road, so it's a much more comfortable lifestyle. You don't have to go get a brand new $50,000 truck. I see guys getting $15,000 to $20,000 dump trucks, and they getting $80 an hour, $110 an hour. And imagine if you get $110 an hour, 8 days, 8 hours a day. And you can also drive them at night. They actually pay more for overnight driving. So maybe you're running 2 shifts on the same truck. The gas, the guy told me he fills up twice a week, $100 twice a week. So that's only $200 because you're not going very far. So as you can see, there are a lot of benefits to being in the dump truck business. And like I said, it's local, very easy. You don't need load boards. You don't need you don't have to pay for any load boards or anything like that. So it's a completely different business, and that is why I like the dump truck business. I'm not actually in the dump truck business, but that is something that I am looking at getting into. I actually secured a dump truck contract for $80 an hour without a truck. I just went. So like I said, there's several ways to find loads or to get set up. One way would be to just call the phone number that's on the side of a truck, and they can get you set up. They'll get you in there. And another way would be I see a lot of trucks all the time. Atlanta, you're gonna see, if you're in Atlanta or a place like Atlanta, you're gonna see a lot of trucks. And so all I did was I saw where trucks were coming out of, so I pulled in and I say, hey, I have a dump truck that I'm looking at buying, but I haven't bought it yet. And they were like, oh, I thought you said you had a dump truck. I was like, no, I ain't bought it yet, but I'm looking at buying it. But before I do, I want to make sure that I'll be able to put it to work. And the guy gave me a contract right on the spot, said he could pay at least $80 an hour, but I might end up on something that pays more. He said he pays between $70 and $120, but he knows that he can pay me at least $80 an hour if I have a truck, insurance, and a driver with a Class B CDL. And that's also another thing too. It's a Class B CDL that's required instead of a Class A. Of course, you could drive on if you have a Class A, but it's a Class B CDL that's required. And the guy gave me a contract, and it had all the paperwork, saying what I was gonna need. I needed to have my DOT number and stuff like that. I needed to make him a certificate holder on the insurance. It's just a normal thing that happens in trucking anyway. You do that anyway with semi trucks and everything else. So got to make him a certificate holder on the insurance. And that was pretty much really the major thing. If you got the truck and the insurance, that was really all you need, and of course the license, right? And so he was ready to put me to work in 2 days. In 2 days, if you can come here with all of that, you'll be going. And I was like, wow. So it is always good business when you can lock in business before you even start the business. You see what I'm saying? So Anyway, right now you watching Casino Is the Name, man. I appreciate y'all for subscribing, like, share, comment. Yeah. Knowing the way we grew up, the environment we was in, the mentality we had, and then to change my life and all my accomplishments, all of the countries, all of the countless cities I've been to. And I even surprised myself. You gotta understand, this wasn't even something I could have dreamed. How could you want something you didn't know exists? You gotta think. I ain't know nobody who did what I did, who lived the way I lived. I've been around the world so many times by myself, I didn't even know how to communicate with people where I'm from. I went from hustling in the projects in Tallahassee to exploring castles in Europe. I partnered with Italians. I made money in Germany. I still only got stabbed in the back by people I cared about. So instead of being surrounded by snakes, I'd rather sit in my mansion alone. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.